What's happening, everybody? This is Aaron from Oklahoma Fishing and Adventure. Today we're not going on an adventure, but today I'm going to show you how I troubleshoot my 24 volt system for my trolling motor batteries whenever I'm having problems. Catch you in a minute. Alright guys, I'm up here on the front of the boat with the trolling motor. One of the things I really like about this trolling motor is it's got your battery gauge right here on it. So we're going to go through and look at it first, and I'm going to kind of show you what it does, and then we're going to get back and actually check the battery voltage. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you this battery meter. Okay, so let's see if you can see this. If I hit the button there, all I'm getting is a red battery right there, telling me that this is no good. So now that I got the meter set up, got it set to 20, it's powered on, we're ready to go. So what we're going to do, we have negative, we have the positive. We're just going to touch negative to negative, positive to positive, and we got 13.5 volts. 13.5 volts is within the realm of where a good battery should be. So this battery we know is good. This is just a Duralast I got from AutoZone, 180 amp reserve capacity. I'm not sure what the amp hour is on it, but it's held up pretty well. This battery I bought at the same time. You can see it's kind of worn, so we're going to go through and check it now. And this battery we're only getting 10 volts, 10.7 volts. So guys, that's our problem right there. The middle battery in here is dead. So, thing to remember whenever you have batteries in parallel or series is if you replace one, you typically want to replace both, because this is only going to be as good as your worst battery. And also, if you do them in pairs, you know when they're both bad. If one fails, the other one's going to be close behind. So anyway, now I will work on getting some new batteries, and I'll come back and show you guys what I do next. Okay guys, so I just showed you how to check each battery independently. Now one thing to note is I actually did not remove my series jumper. I had the series jumper in there the whole time, and you can still check each battery independently and see what their voltage is. So now I'm going to show you how you check across the 24 volts to see where we're at. So minimum we need 24 volts for the trolling motor. So now we got to take our meter, and we're going to have to turn it up to 200 volts DC because we need to cover, this is only 20, we're going to be hopefully pushing 24 plus. So we're going to go from the negative from one side of the battery. Let's switch over here and see if I can get okay, so we're going to go to the negative of this battery over here, and we're going to go to the positive of this battery here, and we have 24.2 volts, which is basically the minimum that we need. So long story short, pulling these batteries out, and we're going to get them replaced. So after I get these out, go to the store and pick up the new batteries, then I'll come back and... Alright guys, so here's the batteries. You can tell the guy here on the left has had a considerably harder life than the one here on the right. Alright guys, I'm back. It took me a little bit to get back with you, but I got my new batteries here. I ended up going a step up. I had a size 27 battery in here, and I went with 29s this time. So I just went with the EverStart that you get at Walmart. This guy, 60 pounds a piece, so there's a little weight to it. It's the EverStart 29. It's 845 cranking amps, but it's 114 amp hours. Basically what we're doing is we have a 24 volt setup in this boat. So we have the two positive, the two negatives. So I'm going to be running from one negative to one positive, or the positive of the next, and then the negative of the trolling motor is going to go here, and the positive of the trolling motor is going to go there. So that'll give us 24 volts across the top. Now, I do have a dual bank charger, so each battery gets hooked up independent. So bank 1 plus and minus goes there, bank 2 plus and minus goes there. That way the chargers will only see the 12 volts that this battery is. They won't see the 24 because they're isolated to this battery and this battery. Nothing's going across the ends. So that'll give us the 24 volts needed for the trolling motor up there. So right now everything's empty and a mess. And so now, let's see if I can get down here. Yeah, everything's a mess in here right now. I'm gonna try to get everything cleaned up a little bit. Okay, so let's get this guy set in there. Just gotta make sure we don't set this guy down on any wires. Now, here is my breaker going to my trolling motor. It's one of the auto reset breakers, so it'll trip and then it'll reset itself with a little bit of time. And here are the leads for the chargers, for my onboard charger, which, yeah, you can barely see it. That's what that guy is right there. Alright guys, I had to reconfigure everything a little bit different. I had to turn the batteries sideways here to be able to get them to fit. The post was actually too tall and was actually hitting the supports for this part here. So I've got everything installed and we are ready to get going. So I got this guy here. This is going to be battery number 1. We are going to make this guy right here battery number 1. We'll do basically that like that. And so we got bank number 2. Is going to be this guy. So positive to positive, negative to negative. Now, we are going to hook our breaker up to the positive there. Our negative to the trolling motor there. Which means we will actually put our series wire here. So we got positive, negative, to positive, to negative, out. My homemade washer here, very important. Same thing on this side. Okay, so we've got everything estimated here. So let's see, let's double check. So we got negative of 1 to negative, positive to positive, that's correct. So we have positive to positive here, negative to there, out to the trolling motor. So we have the positive, the negative, positive, negative. We are good. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten these guys down. Just like so. So we should have 24 volts up at the trolling motor, and we should be ready to actually plug in our chargers, which, if you're like me, you got 2 chargers. I just used one of these guys because these chargers don't pull any power, so you're not going to be overwatting anything. We'll Plug in. Both of them came on and they're testing. The dual bank for the trolling motor says that it's charging. Oh, okay, yeah, and the starting battery is charging. So that part is done, guys. Not a hard task, but for some reason took me 2 days to finish. So anyway, we're going to check everything out. I'm going to check the trolling motor, make sure the trolling motor functions correctly, and we should be done. Okay guys, so I got everything hooked up. So now we're going to take some measurements and see how we did. So we're going to start out with bank number 1. So we're going to go positive to negative. 12.7 volts, that's good. So now bank 2, 12.7. So we got identical charges there. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to check across the two batteries here. So we have 25.5 volts. So we're good. We need a minimum of 24 for the trolling motor. But now I want to show you we can go up front and take a measurement and see what our voltage drop is between here and up front. Let's go. Okay, we'll set that guy there. So we got our plug. That is the trolling motor. So basically what we're going to do, you pull that guy up, it goes in like that, so we know we got positive and negative. And even if you hook this up wrong, it'll just be a negative voltage instead of a positive voltage. You're not going to fry anything. So if we go negative on the right side, positive on the left side, we have 25.5. So we have the exact same reading that we've got back there as we do up here. So voltage drop does not appear to be a problem for us. So plug that guy back in and see what this is. Fully charged. So there you guys go. That's how you can troubleshoot a problem by going and measuring each battery at a time and then measuring across them. You know you need a minimum of 24, but anytime you get below 24, this thing loses efficiency. And what was happening on my one battery that was only reading 10 volts was it was dropping down once you put a load on it. So 10 volts was with it on or right off the charger. Anytime we applied power with the trolling motor, it just plummeted from there. So we replaced both of them because anytime you have a bank either in series or parallel, you want to exchange both batteries at the same time because that bank is only going to be as good as your worst battery. So had I left the other battery in, it would have dropped. We would have only been reading, you know, what, 25, probably 25 even, which is still acceptable, but doesn't leave a lot of room for error. So anyway, guys, if you have any questions, you know, drop a comment, let me know, and I'll try to answer it. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.